Okay, I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. If a curator had to summarize your entire artistic output, everything that you put out, from your earliest significant pieces to your most recent, using only 3 concepts, key concepts, what would those concepts be? And why are they a part of your identity as an artist?
I'd probably say the key one is probably evolution of an artist. I think something that, like, when you look at a tree, for example, like, you know that that tree came from like a lineage of other trees, and that you look at the DNA, like, oh, like this tree was origin from this part of the, you know, the world, but it's a new tree, but it's built different, or it has this. Evolution is definitely probably a good like start with me. Trippy, you know. I think my work is for I would say that my work is for everyone, but also like for those that like to have fun and partake, whatever, that my work does bring that kind of element into gear. Like somebody once told me at a show I did, it was like this guy was totally off his rocker, and he was just like, "Yo, man, you make the apocalypse look beautiful." I was like,
It's
yeah.
interesting.
It's like, okay. And I'm just like, you know, I mean, like, compliments are compliments. So it's like, you know, it is what it is. So it's like, you know, like, to make something that's like, I mean, yeah, I think with my style of work, I think people initially go to, like, I don't want to say not like stereotype, but just like they automatically go to, like, if they see a skull in my work, they're like, oh, this is a dark piece. And it's like, just because it has a skull in it doesn't make it a dark piece. Mm-hmm. You know, that's, you know, or like, if there's fire in something, it's not, you know, it's not a negative thing. So, but I think because of those elements that, you know, sometimes the viewer, you know, based off of their, you know, visual vocabulary, if that's even a thing, but like their concept of like how art can be perceived and how certain like symbolisms can be perceived, can be interpreted in different ways. So evolution is definitely one. The trippy. The other thing would probably just be a person can relate to it, you know, and that goes to say, like, you know, to like future artists out there, or just like artists that are coming up, and like, you know, they see what's happening and they think that their art, you know, like your art should be seen, and like, yes, it should be seen, but it's, you know, I had someone tell me that, like, yo, like, and it was kind of a harsh reality of like, your art is not for everyone, and that's not a bad thing. She's like, but you know, you got some people that like bowls of fruit, and that's their, they collect bowls of fruit. People love elephants. They collect, that's all they collect. So it's the thing of like finding, or you not, I mean, I would say not the artist not finding your audience, but like the audience in a weird way finding you, because it's a give and take. But I feel that with my work that even though it has my own like, you know, personal touch or story to it, where, you know, like the narrative is depicted in the title, I feel like when you look at it, you know, depending on, you know, your state, you know, your mood or moments, that you as the individual can interpret it into your own story, which is kind of like been, you know, it's one of my, I would say not go-tos, but like personal intentions and highlights that I would like, you know, to like portray with my work. So if a curator was to like put me in that, you know, the journey, the trippy, and it's also your story at the same time as it is mine.
So you're saying there's an intention behind your creation to connect to an individual in the way that they will connect with the work
Yeah,
and find that person.
yeah,
Okay. Interesting.
yeah.